Hello, you beautiful people, and welcome back to Let's Play, oh boy, Vampire the Masquerade Swansong, right? And Galeb, we did already go through that. Both belong to, did we? He was adopted, oh boy, that's a lot, right? In Boston, Executor, Beckoning, okay, let's quickly go, I'm sorry, you can skip that if you don't want that. Let's go through it, and after that we're gonna go through the Imperial Throne in 1710 in Constantinople. Mirasa, the Kings of Light, gave birth to Setsei Suleyam, her firstborn son Mirisa, whose birth name was Janet. The Bazori Lefrans joined the harem of Ahmed III, Sultan of the Ottoman Empire, the previous year, and quickly became his favorite. First paragraph done, guys. I'm sorry. She was a doting mother who was constantly concerned about the child, who was destined to inherit the father's throne. Suleiman, for his part, was given an excellent education and learned about courtly life with his younger brother, Sesada Mustafa. The two brothers had very different personalities. While Suleiman was quite stubborn and adventurous, Mustafa was more versatile and fearful. The fall. In 1730, their father Ahmed III became unpopular and the Janissaries revolted against him and forced him to abdicate a favor to his nephew. From that moment on, the seething Suleiman began plotting revenge in the long term to restore his father to the throne. Although he was aware of the problems this would cause, he felt that the only thing to do was to put the rightful ruler back on his throne. His mother, having heard of this, made him promise to give up his plan and disappear before the Janissaries could kill him. She convinced him to leave for the west by faking his death. Suleiman secretly set sail. One night in 1732, Miss Mirasa died. 3 weeks later, out of grief over the loss of her son. It was sad. However, the truth was quite different. Having caught wind of her betrayal, the Janissaries murdered her. New life. The boat that belonged to Janet, the Bazori's family, took Suleiman to the port of Antwerp, where, in homage to his mother, he called himself Galeb Bazori. He was adopted by a family of diamond merchants who traded between Europe and the New World, and whose newfound fortune grew rapidly. Under their guidance, Galeb sailed the oceans in search of new business ventures. He honed his knowledge of astronomy and mathematics, forged relationships around the globe, and used the opportunity to weave an impressive web of influence. His business dealings brought him into contact with aristocrats whose conventions he mastered, as well as with drunken sailors whom he learned to manage. Out of necessity, he became a leader. His natural authority and his ability to adapt won him respect. Little by little, his life on the deck of the ship became his only source of pleasure. He never set foot on his native land again. It was through sailors that he learned of his mother's death, followed by that of his father, and finally his brother Mustafa's third ascension to the throne. A throne that could have been his, a family that he could have saved. No matter how far he sailed, these thoughts were always with him. The embrace. During a stop in Cadiz in 1740, he met Jean-Baptiste Tavernier, a renowned French explorer and merchant who had supposedly died in Moscow in 1689. In reality, he was a venture seeking to expand his control of the diamond trade at all costs. The collaboration between the two men proves to be fruitful, even beyond Tavernier's expectations. Bazor's effectiveness, and I'm sorry for that, I'm butchering the names, by the way, and his distraction delighted him. In the space of a few years, their professional dealings were enriched by secrets, and the young sailor saw in his mentor the father figure that he had never really had. One calm night after a particularly turbulent Atlantic crossing, Galeb opened up Tavernier a bit more and told him about his background. Tavernier understood what appealed to him about this young sailor. His nobility, which already hidden, naturally emanated from him, and through to Tavernier, who had never sired anyone before. Full stop, by the way. He began to treat Galeb like a true member of his family and spoke to him about the occult to gauge his reaction. Then came the thorny issue of revealing his true nature. Tavernier portrayed the embrace as a gift. It didn't take much to convince the young sailor of the value of agelessness. Galeb accepted. His embrace was painful and bitter. It took him several days to be able to tolerate the beast that would gnaw at him for all eternity. Tavernier attempted to focus his child's anger on the revenge he would get against those who had deprived him of his throne, but Galeb did not see things that way. His thirst for justice was placed by disgust for humankind and a growing disinterest in their affairs. He now wished to rise above the kind, to use the eternity for previously impossible purposes. His sire, who saw a certain interest in it, let his child experiment. Galeb spent half a century roaming the 7 seas of the globe, getting rid by acquiring diamond mines and trading companies. He toyed with the laws of man, but scrupulously respected the principles that Tavernier had installed in him. The mutually beneficial and balanced relationship continued until the early 19th century. A hunter's instinct under the now we begin. Now we are gonna go with it, right? A hunter's instinct. Under the pretext of wanting to share his love of nature and the great outdoors with Galeb, Jean-Baptiste invited him to get to the Maurice region to meet an old acquaintance of his, the explorer Toussaint Charbonneau. The gangrel chose to establish his den in the heart of the forest and live like an animal. Despite his sire's instruction, Galeb had difficulty finding Charbonneau. I'm sorry for the butchering. After a physical encounter, the trapper understood why everyone had sent him to this venture, so he attempted to share his connection to the animal world with him, as he had done with the sire before him. While Galeb was not interested in his ability to communicate with animals, his talent at tracking prey seemed more worthy of a kindred. It even proved to be necessary in the midst of his forest for a palate as refined as his, which has not be satisfied with just any kind of blood. With practice, Galeb was able to track down his prey on his own. Charbonneau even tried him to differentiate the essence of a mortal from that of a kindred, or even from that of a lupine. The onset of the winter season forced the men to part ways. Charbonneau heading back to the Pacific, Bazouri returning to civilization with a new skill. Although he would never reveal this to his sire, he was thankful for him who have given him this opportunity. Settling down in Boston in 1806 with the Napoleonic Wars tearing Europe apart, Galeb met James Underwood, who, through the Sugar Trust, controlled the refined sugar trade. With the United States under an embargo, Underwood's business was failing. Galeb mastered all his knowledge to organize a large-scale smuggling operation, amassing a small fortune in the process. Underwood and Bazouri formed a close friendship. Beryl Underwood was born in 1807 and inherited the business from his father, James. When he died in 1833, Galeb knew Beryl as he had watched him grow up. This 26-year-old heir asked him as the man he viewed as his mentor to stay with him and helped him, and Galeb agreed for several reasons: his respect for his business-minded mortal, whom he deemed worthy of his interest, his honor that urged him not to abandon the relationship he had with James, and the profits he could make. He felt that his future lay in the New World, and that it was better than settle there as soon as possible. It was with agreement of the sire that he moved to Boston for good. Tavernier sensed that Galeb had made great progress, and it was clear that the student has surpassed the master. He felt a kind of pride in this. While keeping his distance, he remained in regular contact with his child, treating him as an equal. It was Galeb's advice that he moved to South Africa to set up new diamond mines. Beryl Underwood exceeded Galeb's expectation. He was more talented than his father, and the venture had something to do with it. But a vampire cannot become involved with a mortal over the long term without compromising their identity. Over the years, Beryl's doubt led him to question Galeb, who gave him a frank answer. He admitted his monstrous nature to him. This was far from repellent. Beryl became more determined and asked Galeb to give him the embrace. Galeb had never thought of siring a child himself, so he put off the decision and did not accept it until 1869. Beryl's embrace was quick. He immediately felt empowered. His ambition knew no bounds, and he sought to enrich himself by any means necessary. The Sugar Trust became the center of an international conglomerate that extended beyond the sugar trade. Beryl was involved in every plot, every betrayal. Galeb began to be suspicious of him, and he withdrew, which Beryl did not forgive him. Executor, over the course of the 20th century, seeing Beryl unscrupulously behavior corrupting the kind through the environmental and health impact of his business, Galeb distanced himself from the business. He felt he had created a monster, a threat to all kindred. Quentin King, Prince of Boston, offered him to the position of executor of Prince, which he accepted as a means of escape. King made him one of his favorite tools, sending him to hunt down those who threatened the Boston Camarilla. After centers of building a business empire, chasing opportunities, and eliminating competitors, Galeb derived satisfaction from the simple task of doing what he was told. He didn't count the kindred destroyed, the mortal killed, or thin blood suppressed. He served his prince with the signature loyalty. When the Beryl Underwood joined Quentin King's an increasingly insistent urge to travel, Tavernier was one of the first to give in. Not having been warned, Galeb considered this a betrayal. However, he also felt the same need. He was almost ready to give into it, but the king's disappearance changed everything. Disappearance, not disappointment. Underwood asked Galeb to become the new Prince of Boston. He hoped to be able to manipulate Galeb to serve his own interests, but Galeb knew his child all too well and refused this poisoned gift. So it was Hazel Everson who became Prince of Boston. Quickly, she surprised everyone to proving to be much less manipulable than expected, which was a pleasant surprise to Galeb. He then decided to put himself at her service. Everson was happy to have a renowned ally like him and accepted one last wish. His interest in the Camarilla and his kind was renewed as the new prince seemed to hold her own and had great plans for the future. It was during the same period that Galeb about her and finally met her. Finally, he won her trust and offered to make her his ghoul with the aim of placing her in the near future. He hoped to make her the counterpart of Barrett's self-destructive drive, king, and would not grant the right to sire so easily. She even saw it as a way to maintain control over the precious Galeb, who was forced to wait, consumed by a beckoning. He could no longer bring himself to leave without having repaired what he considered to be his greatest mistake. I am sorry, guys, I needed to read that. I'm sorry. I sometimes... White? I always thought it was only with... I can't run with him.
Sorry, but my instructions are clear.
You little shit.
I'm just following orders.
You have no idea what's at stake. My most honored sire, you're wasting your time here.
I'd forgotten about your abject fawning.
I call it respect. It appears that it's something that sewer rats know nothing about. Apparently, Kaius feels he's entitled to refuse to see a member of the Primogen. I won't forget it.
I'm sorry, I sometimes need to do certain things. And, that was actually... Okay. I mean, yes. Okay. Success stays at 0. Okay, let's try that. What did I want to say? I have some urges like, you know, looting everything and sometimes those background stories. I'm sorry. Of course, a failure.
This isn't just a courtesy visit. You need him.
Oh, don't worry about me. I always manage on my own. Tell me, you haven't introduced me to your charming protege yet.
Zhu Feng.
Yes, Zhu Feng. A name that's as delectable as her blood, I'm sure. Ah, you're planning to introduce her to the very select club of Galeb Bazori's progeny, aren't you?
Okay, let's see. Oh no. I don't get it. Oh. I used the wrong key. 3, okay, that's not gonna... Then let's don't.
I hope that the prince will allow me to, shortly.
I hope so for your sake. Who knows? Dear Hazel is so unpredictable. At any rate, it would be an honor for me to welcome and guide her.
You will speak of nothing with her at all.
Is that an order?
A word of advice.
Oh, pardon me. I fell out of the habit of receiving advice from you so long ago. Well, if you'll excuse me, I must end this ever so pleasant conversation. I need to find a way to avoid losing too much money.
Yeah, boy, have fun. Okay. That was updated, right? What you did now that... Or is it... Anyways. Eventually support Hazel. Evans rise to the principal and soon after the disappearance of Quentin King. Although Galeb was his first choice, Galeb refused, forced Beryl to revise his plans, so he opted for a young woman who was both ambitious and easily manipulated. Unfortunately, Puppet turned against the puppet master, and Hazel... Wait. Proved to be... and Hazel proved to be more difficult than expected. Worse, she earned Galeb's unconditional loyalty. Galeb's desire to sire another child was so intolerable for Underwood that he advised Iverson to refuse him his right.
This is a handwritten list. These names sound familiar.
Okay. Deduction we do not have. Sad face.
Mr. Bazori, can I help you?
I need to see Kaius.
He doesn't want anyone to bother him.
Prince's orders.
I see. He's holed up in the server room. You'll need a pass to get in. There's one on his desk.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Kaius' office. The key card must be in there.
Oh. I'm sorry, sometimes I'm a bit stupid. Now it's open. Inspect. Okay, consumable old coins. Nice. Okay, that's a elimination list.
Security has been increased to the maximum. I've never seen anything like it.
We got the
Are you
card.
supposed to be here?
I am. Good, we got a coin. We got the card. We only need to go to the server room now. 10-year report on mortal evaluation and environmental degradation. Pollution and environmental degradation are some of the major problems currently plaguing the planet. These scourges are caused by a variety of factors that adversely impact the basic functions of the ecosystem and thus the sustainability of all life resources and mortal existence. These environmental problems, especially global warming, are currently very worrying for the future of the planet and consequently on the maintenance to a satisfactory qualitative level of our blood supply. Severe phenomena are responsible for the degradation and pollution of the environment. Overpopulation, it presents a danger for the environment because the increase of the population requires more buildings, more food, which involves deforestation as well as an over-exploration and a pollution of the land. Protection of polluting waste. The detritus and waste product produced by humans are a major cause of environmental degradation. It comes from an intensive and unreasonable production of chemical products. This waste from industrial activities, factories and hospitals is a source of toxic emissions. Large-scale production is also a threat to the environment because it leads to air, water and soil pollution and has direct effects on human, animal and plant life. Yeah, so basically what we already know, mankind is bad for the planet, right?
Blood tests from the Red Salon.
I don't know what's going on, and I'm afraid to find out. I need quiet.
Okay, I'll leave you alone, don't you worry. Semi-secular report on the evolution of the mortal world demography. Once again, all indicators are positive regarding the global population. It has doubled since the last census, which is a major bright spot. However, it should be noted that this concerns mainly the megapolis. This is something to be monitored or even reversed by the end of the millennium. We also report another important issue that needs to be closely observed: the quality of mortals, which is starting to decline. Despite the trend toward organic and natural consumption that we have encouraged recently, the social and economic imbalances do not allow us to reverse the tendency of the decline in quality of our mortals. Also, we know a quantitatively satisfactory state of our resources at the expense of its quality. Okay, that's what they mean with quality. I thought the quality of
They're always one step behind.
human character, so to say.
Do you know anything about servers? Then we have nothing to talk about right now.
I'm working on something important.
That's a good answer, right? I am working on something
List of ingredients
important.
and side effects. A list of ingredients and side effects.
I imagine she sent you. Finally, some good news on this shitty night.
What's the situation?
Not good. Not good at all.
The prince needs more than that. I hope you've got it.
You want details?
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
Everything was going as planned until 11:10 p.m. The prince's child, Miss Sellers, contacted me. The Hartford Warlocks had just arrived. That's the last time we heard from any of them. Less than 20 minutes later, we received the code red, just as we were leaving to join them.
Who sounded the alert?
A man named Wu. Ever heard of him? A retainer, one of Jason Moore's bodyguards.
Moore? The asset manager? What was he doing at the unification party?
He was supposed to answer technical questions about the financial viability of the agreement. Moore is good at hiding our kind trafficking. He's one of them, after all.
And you're the one who received the code red, personally.
It arrived directly, here. It's authentic. I verified it.
Anything that could be of interest to the prince?
I'm working on it. Jara Drury is the expert, not me. If only she was here.
Any movement with the Anarchs?
As usual, they're keeping their distance. You know it's always a pain in the ass to locate them.
Any word from Hartford?
Do you think it's them?
It would be ill-fated.
I knew we should never have trusted those damn warlocks.
Any sign of Jara?
Nothing at all. And that's not good. According to the protocol, she should have been there early. If they got hit, she would have been first in line. There's one thing we haven't considered. The Crimson Oaks.
They were behind the Quincy Market attack, weren't they?
I don't have any proof. We just caught a thin blood who wanted to trap the prince, and who told us about them. Apparently they're new in town, but Miss Drury thinks he's giving us the runaround.
Did you look into it?
I tried, but I didn't have the resources to discover anything else.
Leave no stone unturned.
Hello? You. It's about damn time. Shit. What? You're... Hello? Damn it! I lost them.
Who was it?
Whoa. Shit. Now it's just ringing.
What did he say?
The party was indeed attacked. Apparently it was a real bloodbath. He and James had just enough time to get more out. They're stopping by his place to pick up some sensitive documents.
And then what? Are they coming here?
I don't know. We got cut off.
Call him back. I'll inform Hazel.
This is a critical moment for us. I have summoned you here tonight to organize our reaction to an imminent threat.
What threat exactly? We've got no reason yet to
Call
think...
her off again and I'll slit your throat.
Oh! Excuse me!
Careful, Hazel.
How dare you speak to me like that? You-
Enough! I command you to be silent and listen to me.
Oh, so that's how it is.
That's enough, Beryl.
Yes, it's come to this. You would do well to listen to your sire. We have just been attacked. This is not a time for childish displays of discontent. Galeb, the code red was sent by Wu. Go to Moore's and find out what's going on.
As you wish.
And bring Moore back to me. He was supposed to be at the party. I don't understand why he's the only one who was able to call us. I would like to speak to him very much.
Consider it done.
I trust you. He might be involved in this, so gather any documents you can find there that could tie us to him.
Very well.
Delson, see if you can get Kaius to find us a new middleman in the cane business to manage our interests. I don't want to take any chances. Then, I want you to talk to everyone. Somebody must have seen or heard something. Dajan, make sure all our defenses are in place.
Yes, Hazel.
Emem, you will go to the old Jefferson Library.
What's there?
That's where the Hartford Chantry calls home here. I gave them the building so they could have a base in Boston.
I demand to take her place.
Request denied.
What game are you playing, Hazel? It's a suicide mission.
It's all right. I got this. I'm not made of sugar.
She's not ready for this kind of mission. I should go with her, at the very least.
No, you will remain here. Emem goes alone.
Why don't you send Dajan instead?
Enough, Hilda. Dajan has work to do elsewhere, and I don't need to explain myself.
Hazel, if anything happens to her, I'll...
Nothing, Hilda. You'll do nothing. It's high time you learned to trust her.
Which one of us are you planning to send to the party?
She's already left.
What? Who?
I sent Leysha.
Are you serious? A few hours ago, she was snoozing behind locked doors in a psych ward.
You're playing a dangerous game, Hazel. Without us, you would never have come into power.
You've chosen the worst possible moment to turn your back on us.
On the contrary, I find this moment very appropriate. I am the Prince of Boston, and you are the Primogen. I owe you nothing. Delson, escort them out. The session is adjourned. You all have your instructions.
Okay. Okay. That's actually kind of cool that we have now concluded that. Okay. Okay. No successes with him. That's fine. Okay, level selection. Okay, the time is unknown. Since we started with her, we are gonna go on with Emem. After Code Red was issued and in the next episode, Hazel Everson, the Prince of Boston, mobilized all her resources to try to understand the situation and assess the extent of the danger. The unification agreement is in danger. Faced with mounting doubt and suspicion from both sides, Emem must meet with Deneb Osborne to clarify the situation and ensure that the alliance still stands. And that, you guys, we are gonna do in the next episode. Probably with less reading. Maybe, who knows, we are gonna find out. And you know it, I, as usual, oh, wait. Now the hard part comes, right? Now the hard part comes. Cost 60, we can... Intimidation... Yeah, I would actually like... Yeah. Okay, let's apply. Disciplines! No! Anyways, okay, maybe he can restart, but that is then something for future psychic. For now, you know it, I, as usual, really thank you for watching. If you guys actually do have enjoyed today's episode, then please give me a little tinsy thumbs up and subscribe. And hopefully I see you in the next episode. Until then, I wish you all a wonderful day. Stay frosty. Bye.